Hi friends, today I came up with some of the important features of Java 8 with the Lambda expressions and functional interface. There are many more features present in the Java 8, but today we will be seeing the Lambda expressions along with the functional interface, and you will get to know why I have added these two features in one video in the upcoming slides. So let's get started. Before getting started, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and let's get started. So actually, what is this Lambda expression in Java 8? So if you see, we can define it as a simple function. Any function like without having any name to that function, then also we can say it as a Lambda expression, and it also can be used as a parameter in a function. So why this has been introduced in Java 8? So actually the main usage of the Lambda expression is actually to provide an implementation for the functional interfaces. So now you can understand that why I have created these two features in one video. So basically these Lambda expressions will be providing the implementation for the functional interface. So in the upcoming slide we will be seeing what is the functional interface also, and what is actually the syntax for this Lambda expression. So it has argument list with the arrow mark, that is the pointer we can say, and its body. So this argument list, whether we can have it like any parameter or whatever, like we can keep, otherwise it can be empty as well. So it can be empty or non-empty as well. And this arrow token, why it is being used here? So it is actually used to link this argument list and to this body of the expression. So body of the expression we are declaring in this parenthesis and with argument list with the normal braces. So the body, it actually contains the expressions and statements for that Lambda expression. So this is how we'll declare the Lambda expression, and this is the syntax. So Lambda expression is nothing but the main use, it is to provide the implementation of the functional interfaces, and it is nothing but a function without having any name. And general form, like optional arguments, if you are not giving any optional like arguments, it can be optional. Along with it will be having the body. So left side, this specifies the parameters required by the Lambda expression, and parameters are optional. If no parameters are needed, an empty parenthesis can be given. So right side, known as the Lambda body, specifies the logic, whatever we are giving a logic, what function we need to do, what operation we have to do on that certain using that certain argument list on the left hand side will be taken care by this body, which is nothing but the logic of this Lambda expression. So hope this understands. And going to the next slide, so we can see the examples of Lambda expression now. The simple example like this. So I said, right, if we are not giving any, we don't have any parameters, then it can be also empty. So Lambda expressions here takes no parameter. That's why empty parenthesis it has been given, and it returns the constant value 5. So basically in the normal Java, like before Java 8, what like how it can be written, the above Lambda expression is equivalent to the following code. So how will declare actually int get value. So method name we will be giving, right, and with the parenthesis, it is not taking any input, and that is no parameter list, and returning only 5. So here we can, by saying this itself, we can say it reduces lots of code for us. So before Java 8, this is how we'll declare, and with the Lambda expression it is easy to declare like this. And what if we have the parameters now? So for example, we are having the two parameters, now like concatenation of the two strings. So it has two string parameters and they are concatenated in lambda body. So how we will be writing in the lambda expression? So string and s1 we are declaring like name of the variable, comma, and a string s2. Now this is a argument list or parameters list we can also say, and this is like mandatory the pointer. And what we are going to do, concatenating means we are adding the both strings in the left hand side. So this is the actual a logic of this lambda expression. So the logic will be writing on the right hand side. So s1 plus s2. So this will be concatenating. So without the parameters, this is the way, and with the parameters, we can do like functions using this lambda expressions. Moving to the next. So example, like one more example, like we said, right, it will be giving the implementation of the functional interface. So in the functional interface, how it is implementing, let's see. So we are having the interface addition. In that we will be having, obviously inside interface we'll be having method int add of int a and comma int b. So we are passing two arguments in the method add method of the interface. So how we are going to implement this using the lambda expression? So we are implementing this using the lambda expression. So addition, I'm using some name with lambda equal to, these are the lambda expression, right? So int a comma int b. So we are having a two parameter list in the left hand side with the pointer, and what we are actually going to do with that, so we are going to do addition, right? So in the logic we have to mention whatever operation we are going to do, and what we are passing in that. So in the printing, what we are doing with that lambda dot, we are calling this add method in the interface addition, and we are passing the input over these variables a and b. We are going to give this 100 comma 200 as the input. So in this way we are implementing the functional interface using the lambda expression. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Moving to the next one. Here, like we have seen, right, what is lambda expression, syntax, and some of the examples. So why we are actually using the lambda expression, why Java 8 has been introduced this lambda expression. So two first point is facilitates functional programming. So lambda expression facilitates functional programming and simplifies the development a lot. So we have been like seeing, right, with the examples. So before Java 8, yeah, without the lambda expression, how much code it is, and after that, how it is being simplified to a single line of code. So it is actually simplifying a lot of development, and it is facilitating the functional programming. That is one point. And to provide the implementation of Java 8 functional interface. So how, like we have seen one of the example how we are implementing the functional interface also, right? So this is also one of the usage to of using the lambda expression, and reduced lines of code. One of the clear benefits of using the lambda expression is that the amount of code is reduced. We have already seen that how easily we can create instances of functional interface using the lambda expression rather than using an anonymous class. Before that, we have been, before Java 8 of this lambda expression, we have been using some of the anonymous classes, and to create, like whenever we use the functional interface, we have to create instance of that, etc, etc. So all those have been gone now by using this lambda expression. It has reduced like lines of code. This lambda expression can reduce the lines, many lines of code. passing behaviors into methods. So lambda expressions enable you to encapsulate a single unit of behavior and pass it into other code. So we can reuse also that one, whatever we are using, right? One behavior like the method, we can use it in the other code also, for example to the other methods or to any other constructors also we can use. So these are the main benefits or advantages of using the lambda expression in Java 8. So the interviewer may ask like what is Java 8 features, and the main important thing was lambda expression, and what is the main advantage of the lambda expression. So we have to at least remember to say 2 or 3 points. So moving to the next one, what is the functional interface? So we have seen right before. So lambda expressions, it is like implementing the functional interface, and we also seen one of the example, right? How it is implementing functional interface, how it is lambda expression, how it is implementing everything. So what is actually the functional interface? Why we are talking and why we are relating it to lambda expression? So here the functional interface is an interface with only one abstract method. So whenever a interface having a single abstract method, then it is called as a functional interface. So here also see a functional interface is nothing but is also known as single abstract method. So if you are seeing any one only one abstract method of the interface, then it is called as a functional interface. And obviously the interviewer will ask what is a like give any example of the functional interface. So an example like within Java would be, already we have one of the example that will be runnable interface which has only one method run. So it is providing runnable interface we have, it is providing only one method, that is a run method. So whenever we have only one method under like interface, then it is called as a only one. If you are having any one abstract method in the interface, then it will be called as a functional interface. Then we are having this functional interface annotation also. So this Java 8 also introduces an annotation at the rate functional interface to be used with the functional interface. So whenever we are having this functional interface, right, so it is providing one extra annotation. Just whenever you have this functional interface, just declare that interface with this annotation. Why annotating this an interface with this functional interface? What it is indicating, actually what it is telling to us, that is nothing but that interface type declaration is intended, means it is only focusing to be an uh, functional interface only. So in order to make sure that particular interface is an functional interface, then we can annotate that interface with at the rate functional interface. So this is a functional interface, and lambda expression we have seen. So now we can relate that lambda expression and functional interface in Java 8, and it is one of the like most important features also in Java 8. So here what is the next question? Can we have a generic functional interface? We have seen, right, the functional interface, but can we have any generic one? Can we have the custom functional interface? Since lambda expression does not have type parameters, uh, so lambda expression like it doesn't have any like custom like parameters of its own, so it cannot be generic. Lambda expression, and that it is saying that since it does not have its parameters of its own, so it cannot be generic. But the functional interface that specifies, whichever like it is specifying, like this functional interface, if it is specifying the target type for the lambda expression, that can be generic. So for example, if we see here a generic functional interface, so for the functional interface, we are annotating with the @functional interface and said that we are having the interface, and the interface name is the general, and it is having some of the generic parameters over here. So if you are if you know the target type for that lambda expression, then it can be generic. That is what it is saying, right? So here we are having the input parameters, and it also specifies the target type. So here we can have the functional interface as a generic one. Here are the resultant add values, method name, these are the inputs t and u. So how we are going to implement? So we have declared here the interface as a generic one with the generic parameters. If you know, if we are like specifying the target type, then how we are going to implement that lambda expression, implementing the given functional interface with the integer values. So integer type we are giving, if we are giving, so this general interface, we are having this integer. So custom type, the generic type first, the example is for what if it is the integer type. So we are having all these three of the same data type, that is integer, 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 with the object one, and this object one taking the parameters x and y, and we are doing the addition on this. So if we are printing this object one equal object one dot this add values, we are going to implement what we are passing the values. We are having two parameters, right? So we are giving 2 comma 3. What it will do, it will add and it will store as a integer only. So because we have declared the same data type, right, for the input as well as the target, so integer, 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 so obviously it will take the input and the integer and give the output also in the integer only. So what if we are implementing the given functional interface with the string types? So in the same way, we are going to implement in the interface with the string types. So here with the general interface, I am declaring string comma string comma string, the object 2. So this object again it is going to do x comma y. This is a lambda expression, we know this pointer x plus y, and for the object 2 dot this add values, we are calling the method in the functional interface, that is interface general, adding the values, the string values we are going to pass here the integers. So we are giving the numbers over here, and these are the string types. So we are going to pass here two of the string values, and this is the input, and the output, the target also, it will be returning the string type only. So in this way, in the generic custom, we can have this functional interface. So hope this clear. Going to the next one. And is it mandatory to mark the functional interface with the functional interface annotation? We have been seen, right? Functional interface is there, it means only one abstract method will be there, and Java8 providing the annotation also to annotate all these things we have seen. But now the question is it mandatory to declare it so or not? So it is not actually mandatory to mark the functional interface with the annotation. It is like not mandatory. You have must and should, we no need to mark that functional interface with the annotation, but it is actually a good practice, so that we can have some surety, right? Like if we are by chance, if we are adding any other abstract method mistakenly to that functional interface, then we would not be known, right? We will be implementing all our classes accordingly, methods accordingly, and doing all the implementations right. So other than that, if we are declaring only just that annotation on the top of the interface, we can be sure that no other abstract method is accidentally added to that functional interface, because it will result in compiler error if any other abstract method is added to a functional interface which is annotated with @functional interface annotation. So what it is saying, if you are annotating that interface, that particular interface with the functional interface, so by mistakenly also if you have like adding the other abstract method, then and there the compiler will warn us like you are adding one more, so the functional interface should not have more than one abstract method, etc. The correct message it will show. So in order to maintain the like to make sure to have the surety that no other abstract method is added, it is actually a good and like best practice to annotate the interface with the functional interface annotation. So yeah, and these are the some of the important interview questions on lambda expressions and functional interface. Hope this understands, and thank you so much you are with me like till the end of the video, and happy learning. Please do subscribe. Bye.